Before the pandemic, my job was really related to promoting professional practice at the point of care. I would implement best practices from the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario, education with the staff at the point of care, lots of really fun developmental skill building type roles. With COVID came in, basically all my quality improvement work came to a screeching halt. Right away, we had to focus, of course, on safety and education for the team on how to wear PPE, how to be safe, how to engage with residents in a safe way so that we're not spreading the virus around. The ministry was sending in new information to long-term care on the daily, sometimes twice a day. So sometimes we ended up having to educate or re-educate things at the same time in a day. We would keep learning new information, keep changing, and that lasted for quite a few months. Basically, the focus came down to just safety, and all the resources that we use in long-term care to promote best practices and to build up have to be redirected to responding to COVID. So it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to get back into best practices after COVID is over, because all of our resources have more or less been depleted.
A death in long-term care. In our facility, pre-COVID, basically the person dies, we tidy them up, we call the family, the funeral home comes, they pick up the body, and they leave us a rose. In COVID times, we have to get into full PPE, we have to go downstairs because they're not allowed into the building, we have to pick up the stretcher, we have to come back in the building, we have to disinfect the stretcher, bring it up to the floor. We have to body bag the patients, which we've never really had to do prior. Transfer the patient onto the trolley, disinfect everything again, get out of our PPE, put on new PPE, go downstairs, hand them over. So it's just time consuming. As far as care, the patients, especially when they're dying, it's just sad to watch because they really need that family connection and they don't have it. We were lucky in our facility that we could put the family in full PPE and they could see the patient at the last minutes, but they don't look the same. And they're frightened. And they're frightened of us. I mean, you can imagine going in masks and gowns and visors and whatnot into a patient who's dying, who doesn't really recognize you at the best of times, and you suddenly look like an alien from outer space. It's very disconcerting for them. My personal experience was one man who was dying, and he came back from the hospital supposedly sort of on his way out. Well, he sort of woke up at 3 o'clock and became very, very agitated and very anxious. So I went in and we had to keep him on the bed for one thing, and he was just hysterical because he wanted his mother, and he was 96, so I couldn't provide his mother. So I said to him very nicely, well, your daughter will be in the morning. And because of the masks and his hard of hearing, he sort of screamed at me, in a month, I'm going to be dead then. And I said, no, I said, in the morning. But you had to sort of shout, and you know, you're trying to be pleasant and caring, and you're having to shout, and again, you come across as an alien, you know? And I found that really, really difficult, that I wasn't providing the type of care that I wanted to provide when somebody was passing away.
First of all, I can say we're all tired. Everyone is tired of this. Of course, of course, everyone's tired of it, but we are tired, and I think that emotionally there's much more burnout. I do think that it's uniting us. In both my workplaces, I see that we've kind of banded together a bit more to support each other, especially with the aspect of isolation outside of here. We were becoming a closer-knit family. I do feel that some of the anxiety around COVID has been beginning to dissipate, and I think it's just because it's been around for a while now and everyone's sort of sick of it. Take care of each other. Honestly, just check in with people and make sure they're okay, because no one's coping well. So just check in, talk to each other, love each other, be good to each other. That's it.